Good morning, this is Don the Idea Guy. It is November 17th, a Thursday, and this is Running Through My Mind, the only podcast broadcast from a parking lot, although we're starting a little early today because I'm broadcasting from my car while I'm driving. No worries, my hands are on the wheel, my eyes are on the road, so hey, don't worry for me, I'm good. The reason is I got delayed. They shut down a highway here in Columbus, and I have no idea if they opened it back up at any other spot, so I had to take surface roads to get to the office this morning, which takes hella longer, and of course the accompanying traffic of all the other people who had to get off the highway. So let's talk about that as we dive into this episode of Running Through My Mind. We actually touched on detours several episodes back, and the feeling of, when traffic slows down, do you sit in traffic and wait for it to creep along, or do you jump off and take detours? Because there's a whole discovery process that goes along with the taking side roads. But what do you do when your forward momentum comes to a screeching halt? I mean, what happens when the police block off and barricade 4 lanes of traffic going in the direction you wanted to go in, and your only option is to go off to the left or to the right? You can't go straight where you wanted to go. So do you branch off and work on another project that could then meet back up with your original project destination? Or do you branch off onto a different project completely on just a totally different topic and just abandon that other one until the road opens back up and the traffic begins to flow in that direction again? I think both are viable options. I think what is not acceptable is to stop all progress. Like, hey, the universe is telling me something, so the highway's closed down. It must mean that it wants me to sit at home today and watch Netflix. I was in a similar circumstance yesterday at the office where the internet went down. Now, I don't know about you, but a lot of my job sits on the internet. So there's plenty of things that I just simply can't do because I can't log on to update websites. I can't log on to check site analytics and statistics. I can't send emails. I can't make new contacts online. But certainly there are things I can do offline. For instance, I had a lot of photos that I could edit inside the photo editing program. And there were scripts that I could write without having to be connected to the internet until I was done and needed them to send to somebody. There was audio I could listen to of projects that I'm working on and reviewing for other people. There is journaling I can do. Excuse me. You know what? I think it's time for a drink from our sponsor, Dripjoy. Hold on. Yes, Dripjoy. Dark Bean Daydream is what we're working on right now, and it is delicious. There are plenty of things you can do offline. I had my phone with me, and my cellular was still on, so I could reach out to people with some quick emails that way. There are other paths to where you want to go. Just because the world decided to block off one project and you can't work on that doesn't mean you have to stop working on it completely. A friend of mine opened up a vape shop because that seemed to be a new business category that he had an interest in and that he was going to just kick ass in. And recently, with all the legislation against that industry and the taxation that's going to be hitting it soon or has, it threw up a roadblock for what he wanted to do. There were tons of things that he did when he opened his shop that he couldn't do afterwards. So rather than saying, I'm just going to give up completely, he put somebody in the vape shop to man it so he could go work a completely disconnected to work a job in a completely disconnected field. It had nothing to do with vape, but it was still customer service, still sales, which is what he excels in. And he found a way to keep working on one project and keep the other one alive until the roads opened again. So what do you do when a road closes? And what are some alternate routes that you could come up with in advance so when it happens, not if it happens, when it happens, you'll already have a standby. You'll have a plan in place. I already knew 3 other ways that I could keep going to get to the office this morning, because they tend to close roads frequently and traffic backs up here in Columbus. But I already had alternate routes. And if worse came to worse and I just couldn't get there at all, I've got internet at home and I can dial in. And not dial in, that's an old school, but you know what I mean. I can VPN in, or whatever it's called. So there are other alternates for you. You don't just have to throw up your hands in despair and give up because traffic stopped or somebody threw up a roadblock. People are going to throw up roadblocks for you all the time. You can go around them, you can go under them, or you can leap over them. That's it for today. Short show because of the delay. I think that's episode 48. I'll be back tomorrow for episode 49. We're winding down as we hit episode 50. And remember, this episode, like a lot of the previous ones, have been powered by Drip Joy Coffee. If you'd like more information about the blend that I'm drinking this morning, Dark Bean Daydream, or any of the other roasts that I've had a chance to sample with Drip Joy, you can visit dontheideaguy.com/dripjoy. And if you just want to connect and talk about the podcast, talk about any of the topics a little more in depth, you can reach out to me on my website, dontheideaguy.com. I will see you tomorrow.